It's Madden NFL 24, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Buccaneers and the 49ers, and it's all up next.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today we've got an NFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. McLeod now on the return. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Purdy. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Purdy now to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Purdy. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So here are the Bucs backed up to start their initial drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 11. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
A first carry for Rashad White.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
For a burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Here's Mayfield.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Ray McCloud deep here for the Niners.
Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Purdy bootlegging it. Looking for the crossing receiver. He's got it. It's Samuel. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. He'll get this to about the 23. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. And we'll pause here for an injury. I believe that's a running back. Yeah, that's Rashad White, who's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This is 2nd and 8. Mayfield now. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Whenever I see an end route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here's Jake Camarda now. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now a 2nd and 6. Purdy looking to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And Debo going to have a Niners 1st down as he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This is McCaffrey on the give. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. This is Samuel. And Debo going to have a Niners 1st down as he'll take this down inside the 45.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
On 1st down, Purdy. And this is caught, Jennings. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Purdy from the gun. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the 49ers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The extra point try now for Moody. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Here's Devin Tompkins on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
2nd and a couple. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's got some space here. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Mayfield now from the 50. His throw incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks. He's making them better than what they actually are.
2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. He's to the 15. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. The way things have been going in this one, Charles, it was only a matter of time before this defense got involved and made a big play. And they do right there. Gosh, this lead is so large, CD, and we're only in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's so amazing about it. You mentioned this large lead. How's this their first takeaway of the game? And what a spectacular one it was. Adding to the lead, showing the true dominance, and you're exactly right. We're still in the first half.
Now Moody for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now Mayfield. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 30-yard line.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Second down, Mayfield. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Mayfield. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. On the screen, this is Edmonds. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Second down and 4.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught by Mike Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Mayfield with it once more. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a fine performance in the first half from the former Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? From the end zone, here's Devin Tompkins. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Mayfield now on second down. It's caught. This is White. 2 yards on the pickup there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up and keep making first downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They go with White on the counter. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there's a 49er who's in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan. That didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Purdy. And it's caught by Jennings. Touchdown, 49ers. Jerome Jennings, 37 yards. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Moody good with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Niners 28, Buccaneers 3.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it to 26. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground with White. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. McLeod to return it. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Now Purdy. Throw left side complete. That's Jennings. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 9.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 60 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now on 1st down, it's Purdy. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. A throwing here, Purdy. Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Purdy bootlegging it.
And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. Touchdown! Brandon Ayuk in a 11-yard touchdown. And the 49ers have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. On the return, here's Tompkins. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Well, the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
1st down, Mayfield.
Here's White. They set up the screen.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Play fake. Mayfield. That is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. To the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point try now for Moody. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mayfield now. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mayfield looks to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 48 yards. And the Niners add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Now Moody for the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Mayfield's throw complete to Otten.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 2.
To throw, Mayfield. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is a diving effort by Evans. What a catch. 14 yards there on a Buccaneer first down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 49ers 5-yard line.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
Mayfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them. Not one they'll want to remember. At least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. But they don't really score on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Balled it to 26, 2nd and 7.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Mayfield. And that one too wide and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's McLeod on the return. And Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.